Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Sugar, Spice and Everything Chaos. We're going to continue our series on the politics of the female psyche. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about something that's going to be a little emotionally touchy. And this is not something that's rarely spoken about. There are countless narratives that you can find online about this. But we want to kind of assert a bit of hope in the conversation, but to kind of give you a piece of why this is going to be so uncomfortable, maybe this is something that I would introduce the episode with. Um, have you ever felt this sort of like pessimistic feeling about everything and anything? Like you sometimes want to blame it on the stars, or you want to blame it on like the time of your birth, or something along those lines. You don't know what it is, but you think something about your life is just always going to be negative. And this sort of mentality is so widespread that you cannot seem to find hope for yourself or your life. You think everything that you touch is going to turn to dust. And the reason we want to talk about this is also because we see that this sort of attitude is something that's becoming more and more prevalent with the young population today. And I think I'll kind of shoot this question to Anne right now. Anne, have you ever felt this way, or have you seen people dealing with such an attitude in the more recent times?
Yeah, I think since I'm a therapist, right? So it's something that I encounter very often. And you see that at least it's very bearable in a therapeutic setup, but it's not bearable when it happens around you, among the people that you are. Because, see, I understand it's difficult. Certain things have happened to certain people, and it's okay to complain about it. It's okay to cry about it. But when they try to box them inside that and say, because of this is who I've become and I can't do anything about it, I think that's a very pathetic thing to do because it's very destructive. And a lot of people don't realize, a lot of my clients don't realize how destructive it is what they're doing to themselves, because they can't go ahead, they can't go back, they are just there, stagnant, stuck. So I think we call this victim mentality. So it is a very dark place to be, actually.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have used this meme before, but a lot of our Tamil boys today, right, because of the Pradeep Rangarajan, like streak that's going around, this whole thing of like Thothukite Irikeda is like so popular now. It's a joke that gets thrown around, but what they don't realize is this joke is so loaded with low self-esteem. Because what this means is it's already like a destiny that you've set for yourself, where you're like, you are going to keep losing, you are never going to be a winner. So even if things kind of go your way, right, even if things are positive, you kind of at the back of your mind you expect something to go wrong, right? And I want to talk about this more. Why do you think men are using humor to stay comfortable with their loser status? Like there's no positivity in the way that they're perceiving masculinity anymore, because it's either like this extreme of being someone who is just pathetic and incompetent, and then on the other end it's being someone who's extremely toxic. They're very powerful, maybe they have money or they have great looks, but then they're toxic. Like they are people who kind of use their power to hurt others. So you have like the loser extreme, or you have like this whole sort of power drunk persona. And today's episode we're going to focus on the men who fall on the other extreme, where it's just about this loser mentality, where we think, okay, whatever I do, I'm going to lose. But why do you think like these men are comfortable being such losers? uh, Again, I'm not being harsh here. This is the reality that's happening out there. A lot of men are extremely insecure about like their performance in school, college, their placement in terms of their jobs. Like if you look at maybe 10 years back, right? Like I had this student who literally told me that he knows that the class toppers are girls, but then he was like, anyway, these girls who are topping the class, they are going to end up as housewives, right? He had that audacity to say that 10 years back. But now when you look at, young men, right, they're not able to say that because they know for a fact that the girls who are topping the class are also going to be like the top listed individuals, candidates for placements. And these women are actually earning, like they're earning much more than men. And we have like this rise in shift when it comes to marriages and things, where men have no other option but to settle for women who earn more, because just the math of it is that women are more hardworking, and hardworking yields more income, right? So why is it that these men are stuck in this zone where they're not able to actually move past that loser mentality, that victim mentality?
See, again, I think it comes down to a lot of identity struggles, because I'm just trying to think. If you've seen a lot of movies in the early 90s and 80s, you would see men would present with nothing, right? Their whole identity and the whole things that they have to offer is just being a man, right? But the whole aspect of, like how you're saying, that the whole aspect of housewives and their financial things have changed over the years, and now men are expected to provide much more than just existing, right? So I feel like this whole of power mentality, that I am like, I have nothing, this has happened to me, and all of that, it's a very comfortable excuse to take upon, because there's a lot of pity involved, sympathy involved, because people don't want to try. Like you were saying, the two extreme: either you are tied to something that you have, like money, or uh, beauty, or that you're tall or that you're strong. There's something external or a factor that they want to tie their identity to, like gym bros. Or you have people who are like, oh, this has happened to me and there's no way going out, there's one woman who has to come into my life, rescue me, and that she has to see me in such a way, give me an identity, that she has to uplift me, she has to make me feel like I am the man in the life, and she will take me out of it. You would have seen a lot of Tamil movies in this way. Like, she changed my life. Until she came into my life, I was nothing, I was completely a loser. After she came into my life, she changed my whole life, sort of a narrative. But I think many of
Joker
these
became a
loser
hero.
so many of these loser men with that mentality, that any nothing is going to happen to me, are waiting for a woman to come and like them, save them, rescue them, and make them feel better. And I think these are the very men, once they leave, they again, instead of taking responsibility, ownership, they would blame the woman again. Oh, she left me because she found a better man who's rich or who's handsome and things like that. But it is because you're a loser. That is why she left you. That idea is not coming in the first place.
So, what do you think these men should actually be focusing on? Because these men have no idea where to start. When we talk about, like a partnership or even like dating for that matter, a lot of men just have this idea that women are gold diggers. They think that the only thing that women look for is money. But in reality, if women were looking for money, right, they would go for rich guys. But like the fact that a woman is dating you, an average Joe, means that she's looking for something more than just money or looks. So these men, instead of asking, this question of why does she like me? What do I bring to the table? What is she expecting from me? They kind of have this thing of like, only money I can provide and only money I will provide. So, I've had, these sort of relationships that I've seen where this man like would be in his 30s and he would be dating like college students, right? And it would kind of get very toxic to the point where the conversations would be around, if you left me I will cut myself, I would kill myself, so you have to marry me. This girl would still be in college, right? And she would actually have to take responsibility, and she would have to sit with him and say, so no, don't do that, we will get married. She will reassure him and she will encourage him to get a job, to do this, to do that. What you would kind of see in the trajectory of such relationships is it gets to the point where the girl will have no choice, because this guy will not be bettering his life. He would also not be letting her better her life. So, like, let's say she wants to do a job in a different country or something, or take up a different program in a different country. This guy would sit there and say, if you left, I will die, I will wither, so you come save me. And a lot of girls are pushed to the situation where they have to make a choice between themselves or this guy. And thankfully now, because things are changing, a lot of women are able to choose themselves, right? And what you see happening to these men who are in their 30s after such women leave, right, is very tragic. They sit and they, instead of introspecting and working on why this happened, they sit and do this sort of victim they pick up this victim card, and they feel sorry for themselves. They expect everyone else to feel sorry for them. There are so many soup boy breakup songs in Tamil industry for a reason, right? They say, that girl came, she gave me, she was my color in black and white life. She
Mhm.
became the color, and now she's gone. So now my life is colorless again. So these men quite literally, like, stop moving. They stop working. They become so lazy. They are the actual definitions of losers. So what do you think these men are missing? Like, what exactly should they be doing to get out of this very silly, very pathetic mindset?
See, I am trying to think of the upbringing of men or boys in the family.
Mm,
And you see, as much as we are talking about the women construct, there's also a male construct, right? So, male are
yes.
expected much less growing up. They are not expected much at all. And you see, the fact that they have the freedom, even that freedom is not used properly or not used for the right reasons, right? So, for example, I had a client recently, and she was talking about her husband, and her husband had no friends outside of his schooling or college. He used to go to school, come back, go to college, come back, and then he after that he got a work from home. So he used to be at home for the last 4 years, and the only people or the only woman he was interacting with was his mother and his sister, right? And he is getting married to a girl who has studied and who has worked outside in different cities, and she's coming back, and she has a friend, she has her friends and life and everything. So you see this, that men are completely without passion, completely without values. They don't have anything to hold on to in life. Like if you ask them, like there was a reel that men sit and talk, those podcasts where men sit and talk. And in one of those podcasts that this guy was talking about how women have figured out their life purpose and all of that at the age of 14 or 15 in their slumber parties in their schools, but then men are doing that at the age of 30. It's like, because of this lack of expectations, these expectations upon men are only coming up now, because if they don't evolve, these evolution is very important. If they don't evolve, women are like 10, 20 times ahead in their growth, in their mindset, in their career, in their achievement, in everything. Like you said, even in the interview about Radhika, right, she says that who is going to lose in this race? Men is the only one who's losing in this race, because women, they will wait for you, they will be able to go 10 steps down, but if you don't step down to that level, or if you don't step up, they will just leave, and they will just be able to thrive whether inside a relationship or outside a relationship. You would have seen, right, this post breakup glow up, the post divorce glow up. It's a real thing, because women wait for their men to kind of change and pick their shit up. But if that doesn't happen, they're just like, okay, let me just focus on what I have to focus on, because I have now 99% of energy to focus on my career and
Myself.
other
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
This is actually, I want to say something very controversial here. I'm very excited to say this. You know how when a woman is behaving in a wild and unconventional way, we kind of blame the woman's mother, saying the mother didn't raise the daughter, right? I
Hmm.
kind of want to do the same thing with men. These men, they don't act like men. Can I blame their fathers? What were these fathers doing to these men? What is this fatherless behavior that they're showing? Who raised you, son? Do you not know how to be a man? And
Uh,
like, this is, I'm not trying to rage bait here, but this is like a genuine question. Uh, to all the men who are watching, do you know what it's like to be a man? Did you like, I mean, I'm hoping you had a father growing up. So did you, like, what did you learn from him? What exactly do you think being a man is? And see, if this is making you uncomfortable, good, sit with it. But I hope you and your bros sit together and talk about this. What exactly is the man you think your mother deserved? Because I'm pretty sure the men who are listening to this, if they are listening, they would all agree that their mothers deserved better. Because if their mothers had better husbands, their mothers wouldn't have been so hard on them. Because a lot of these loser men, they have mothers who are extremely controlling. You
Hmm.
will see that these men are extremely attached to their mothers pallus, right? So, and these are the men who also say, my mother was so innocent, I want a girl just like my mother. No, your mother was not innocent. Your mother did not have a choice. Your mother hated her life. She had to rely on you as the son because her husband was a loser, and now you want to do the same cycle repetition again, which is not fair for your future wife, if you get a future wife. Because like right now, women don't really settle for anything less than what they want. So I think this question is something that we should also be asking: what kind of a husband should we be pursuing, uh, keeping in mind that our children are going to be watching this man who will one day, be the inspiration for their parenting, for their modeling of what parenthood is going to be. So if we have a daughter, right, the girl is going to kind of want what she sees in her father, in her husband. And if we have a son, the son is going to be exactly, the son is going to aspire to be like his father. He's going to learn how to love his wife by the way he sees his father loving his mother. So I feel like this is where things kind of went wrong in society, where we kind of look at, this is the word for love in Tamil, right? Kadal. I know like how this word kadal is seen as a bad word in a lot of like conversations we have. We see kadal used in like Tamil cinema, in poetry, in essays, in books and things. But in, casual conversations, we see it as like a bad word because we usually associate kadal with like lust. We don't really see it as something that's a little bit pure, a little bit human. We see it as something that happens between a man and a woman in a very like carnal sense, right? So why is it that women can see men as humans, but men cannot see women as human?
See, again, you see this hypocrisy in families, right? That what you were discussing on, that men are expecting a girl who's just like the mother, but then that, like you said, women are expecting they don't want to end up as their mothers, because women know what they gone through, what their mothers gone through, but men do not see it because it was given to them, it was made comfortable to them. But I don't understand why this hypocrisy exists, because as much as this is looking like a rage bait content, men end up becoming very sentimental towards their daughters, but they do not see that this very daughter was once your wife was once a daughter, and you ended up spoiling her life, but you don't want the same for your daughter, but you don't mind being an I don't want to use a bad word, but you being very extremely cruel to your wife. And
Right.
I don't know, this whole aspect of wanting to man up, man wanting to be wanted, this whole idea of male loneliness epidemic is happening not because of women stepping up and fighting for your rights. We are not the cause of your loneliness at all. You need to understand that, men.
We are also not responsible. Like if you are lonely, I think you are responsible. You need to kind of figure out why you're lonely, what your needs are. You can't always expect a woman to come save you. They act like saviors, but in reality they are the ones who need to be saved. They're constantly looking for a girl to come into their lives, change everything, make it magical. Another thing that I, kind of thought about as you were sharing this is, this sort of blindsidedness that men have when it comes to fatherhood. So, a lot of men, right, when they talk to their wives, they very casually insult their wives' fathers. saying your father didn't, give enough gold, your father did not do this for you, do that for you. But they don't realize that one day their daughter's husband could do the same thing to them. So what you see is this sort of like hate that men have towards other men. Men are so judgmental of other men, but they don't talk about it. They act like, they're such cool bros. But I think men are the most deceptive people in this regard, right? They will look you in the eyes, they will smile at you, they will talk to you, but behind your back, they say the most cruel, vile things about the other person. So this makes me also, question all the accusations that men give out to women, right? They call us, they say that we gossip a lot, they say that we lie a lot, they say that we are whatever, whatever. Maybe, it's all just a projection. Maybe they're just talking about themselves, because we don't really, I mean, as far as I know, right? We don't try to bring another person down without any reason. Like if there is pain, then obviously, like if like this whole thing of daughter-in-law and mother-in-law dynamic, right? If a daughter-in-law had a decent mother-in-law, I don't think she's going to sit and complain. I think she's going to
See, I
constantly talk
also
about how
don't
she
think
loves her.
the son-in-laws are doing a great job either. It's just that
Yeah.
they do not even interact with them. The fact that you are interacting, if you are expected to interact in such manner, when you are expected to share the physical space and do the chores and listen to your mother-in-laws in the way the same son-in-laws are expected to have the same expectations, you would have the same problems. And how are you managing those? Going to your boys and then drinking there, right? And that is a
Yeah.
very mature way of doing it, by the way, very mature way of handling it.
It's not just the drinking, right? It's also the smoking, and now we have like other substances. We also have like fun little other problematic behavior like gambling. So it's just that, men think that we don't know about what their secret lives are all about, but we are aware. And the more we talk about it, the more I think, we get to make better choices, because a lot of men, they have the freedom to leave their houses whenever. They can just say, I'm stepping out and go. And these are men who are lying to their families, who are lying to their friends and like girlfriends and wives and whatnot, and doing such immature, maladaptive things. So the question, that all of us should be asking is, why is it that we don't expect accountability from men? Why do we always expect women to take responsibility when men, for centuries and beyond, have been doing this, and we just say he's just being a man. Once he finds the right girl, she will fix him. Why would she fix him? She should just let him, go. Why is it that that burden is placed on any woman for that matter, right? So this whole victim mentality that men have, I think we should just let them be victims of their own life and just let them go. Why do we need to save them is a question that I have now.
Definitely. And I think in terms of men not taking responsibility, another thing that you see a pattern in relationship is that because these men have this habit of not getting closer emotionally, or being able to regulate their emotions, talk about what is happening, and they don't have that space either with their male friends or within their family, because they are more closed down within a box. When a woman comes, they finally see, oh, this is how you're supposed to feel when you are feeling an emotion. Oh, she's listening to me, she's regulating me, and she's doing all of that. And they like the version that they are with that girl, because
But
that girl is making him feel good about it, right? But the
but
whole
but
aspect is that, just making, once she asks for the need, then he runs away. And you see a
yeah,
lot of these commitment issues is because he does not want to commit and give her what she is giving him to.
no, but like, see, the thing is, in this case, right, we women have more restrictions, right? Like, we women are not even allowed to speak up when it comes to, the needs that we have. Like, for instance, let's say, we're having family dinner. It's easier for the male to ask for like 10 dosas. If a girl is going to ask for, let's say, 3 dosas, they're going to be like, 3 dosas, she's eating so much. So, for a man to have this freedom to eat anywhere between 10 to 20 dosas in a single sitting, right? He can very definitely make space for his emotional regulation. What is stopping him from actually sitting with his friends and talking about his emotions? This man can sit and talk about all the things that he shouldn't be talking about, right? He has the freedom. He has all the freedom that I think most girls would never have in their entire lifetime when he's only 15, right? So instead of talking about things that would actually be helpful, this man is going to be talking about pornography. This man is going to be talking about objectification of women. He's going to, be basically calling girls body parts, right? And somehow these type of conversations makes these men feel very powerful. And honestly, it's extremely pathetic. Like, you have so much potential to change this world. You could actually be of so much service to this world because you have the freedom, but yet you choose to be someone that's detrimental to people's lives. You choose to play the victim, where you say, oh, I don't have this, I'm so power, this is happening, that is happening. No, no, no one, even this thing of, how society will say boys cannot cry and all that. Bro, sit and
It's
cry.
21st century, bro. Grow up, wake up.
Yeah, yeah, like lock your door. I know you have like private spaces, right? Or when everyone's asleep, go to the roof, look at the moon, cry. Who's stopping you? No, like seriously, who is stopping you? No, like we women love men who cry, by the way. Just we do. Like, like any signs that a man shows where he shows us that he's human, it's like like, oh my god, that man
Take
is
notes,
capable.
bros. Take notes.
Yeah. So, like, what is this excuse of, oh, we men, we never get to cry, we men, we never. No, stop being pathetic for once in your lives. Just stop. I think I'm getting carried away. You want to continue?
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered enough about why they are pathetic, but I what makes me think is that what do we give out through this video or the podcast? What are we trying to get it across?
I think we're kind of trying to educate young women, but also we're also trying to give out this information to the general public that as much as romance is important and romance feels good, men are liars. Men, get more benefits from being with you, young women, than they give benefits to you when they're with you. The whole narrative that we've been familiar with is a man would come into your life and he would provide and protect you. But look around you. I genuinely want you to look around you and see if there are men who are protecting and providing, right? And what you will see is the common thing that you will see is fathers who are alcoholics, brothers who are just violent, like husbands who are not loyal, right? So when this is like the common themes that you see around you, why do we still believe that men are protectors and providers, and why do we date with that intention?
See, again,
uh
provider in the sense, see, there was this question that they asked in a street interview to a woman, and then, like, do you want men with money or do you want men with, looks or something like that? And then she said that I want men with ambition, and a man with ambition will be able to earn money and they will be able to provide. Right? Again, it is not your job to just provide money. It is about safety. It is about being human. It is about giving that emotional support. It is about being grounded, putting your foot down on the ground and stand up, have a spine of your own. When you're committing to a relationship, when you're committing to your partner, you're committing with the sense that you're going to be with them for the rest of their life and be there with them when things go wrong, be there with them to support them when they are like having something going on, and take equal partnership in building a life together. It is not her life to build. She will build it for you, and you will come and sit inside and say, oh, okay, put food now, put clean now, do this now. Now I regulate my emotions now, do this. So it is not that. Be very clear of what we are trying to say. Providing, don't misread it here. Okay. Have a spine, have a courage in life. Be able to talk to your parents and say, This is my life, this is my wife, this is my children, this is my family. It becomes my family now. I will not be able to take your side just because whatever you have done, parenting part has been done, that is done. You have to move on into the next part of your life. You cannot that keep holding on to your mommy's hand all the time. Or you cannot just say that, oh, I can't make decisions, I'm so scared, and let me run away. It's just you need to please be aware. Ambitions, values, life, have pretty, put your head right, put your life right, put your emotions right, put your identity right. Your identity is not just being a man. It's a man is just a gender. There's more between about a human being, not just being a gender. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's something you need to take home, right? And especially for the women also, like, we understand that these men are not stepping up. You see among your friends, your families who are married, who are not married. But the thing is, what you have to understand is when they are not stepping up, that is not your shit to clean. You have to just leave. And if you don't leave, then you're also not thriving, they're also not thriving, and the whole family is not thriving. And like you were mentioning, the kids are also witnessing an environment that is so toxic, and you are raising another generation of same old pattern, generational pattern, that's being passed on from one generation to another generation. What are we trying to get from here? Nothing. So yeah, what you
I
have
think a
anything?
lot of personal like unlearning is required because I think one place I think this comes from is how we are gender typed when we were very young. Men grow up watching superheroes, right? And
I
women
also
grow up
watch
watching
Power Rangers, bro, and
Power Rangers. Is again like you see, that's the thing. So if you look at superhero themes, you will see that romance is not a very important part. These are men who will give up their wives, their lovers, their girlfriends for protecting the world. They are told to sacrifice women so that the world can be saved. They are always taught that the woman is not important, but their mission is their work, their careers, or whatever. And for a superhero, the career is to save the world, right? Um, but if you look at the fairy tales that women grow up watching, it's all about finding that one prince charming and then having a happily ever after,
but I think it
right?
changes
Like,
as soon as you hit 22, 23.
I don't think so. I think, like if you look at the dating scenes with like the dating apps and all of that, right? As much as we have this reality check that relationships aren't what it used to be, underlying, all the, sayings that we say, there is a lot of longing for love that you see with women, right? And I don't see the same longing with men. I have a few friends of mine, male friends of mine, who I talk about this with, and I say, you know what? Like when we women date, we look for love. Where like where will I get this love? I don't want your money. I don't want anything. I just want your love. I just want your. It's not attention that I want. I want affection. I want your presence. I want intensity. But then at the same time, I want playfulness. I want something beyond, just what is in the here and now. It's almost spiritual the way that we women conceive love, right? We it will be us against the world. That's the sort of thing that we have to offer.
Building a
But if you
life
look at
together, I
men,
think that is a very common thing that you see women telling is building a life together. And that's
yeah,
extremely romantic expression, by the way, if you don't know.
yeah. So, like, what we're saying is, I can come to middle ground with you. Like, if you want something, we will make that happen. That's the attitude women get into the relationship with. But if you look at men, men kind of just think about their dreams, their ambitions, their families, and they say, okay, I want all of this. You're the genie in a lamp. Make the wishes come true, right? And when anything goes wrong, right? Like, you get married and then your son fails in first standard, you will say, it's because of you. Bro, no, it's not because of me. It's because the son didn't study. So you will see that women keep getting blamed because men look at women as like wish granting machines.
And also,
So
another thing, if you want to learn and see about life as men, look at, observe your mother, observe the how you are treating your mother, how you are treating your on a daily basis, how she's being treated at home. That is something that is, it starts from there. And just sit and ask with her, talk to her if you can, please. I mean, I don't see many sons sitting and talking to their mothers about a lot of things. How are you doing? What is happening? Are you happy? These are questions that you're supposed to ask any human being. Just sit and talk to her, and you will know that how painful her life is, and whether you want to have a partner and put her through the same scenario again.
And I think, the men who do talk to their mothers like that usually end up extremely angry at their fathers. And the thing is, that usually doesn't happen. Like the conversation itself doesn't happen. But I've seen men who have conversations like this with their mothers. And what you see happening is these men, inevitably, they ask for accountability from their fathers. They push their fathers to take responsibility in the house. Right. And I think if more and more men became aware of this sort of system that's in place, uh, we could actually ask questions to our fathers more. We could actually talk to our fathers more. And maybe the next generation of fathers that get created, within marriage or within these systems, they could be better fathers, and we could basically do like a real shift in the way that society moves forward with life, right? But it does start with men, and men, we are not responsible for this. We look to you with a lot of expectations, hoping that you would bring this change about, because we need you. We do. But will you be willing to step up? That's the real
Because
question.
we are not competing against you, we are same species, we have to work together in this. And if there's
Yeah.
loneliness happening, then there's so many of the unhappiness happening, mental health issues happening, and nobody is getting nowhere. Women are not getting good men, and you are also not getting anything in life. And I think we all need to work together in this, and that is the whole point of this, and not to attack you or rage bait you in any way.
Yeah. I think
So
this is a good place for us to like pause, reflect, and end the episode. I hope you watched this episode till the end, and I hope you kind of have a lot of things that you're taking back from this. If there are thoughts or reflections that you have, please do share them in the comments below, so that the conversation could go on. We need to have these conversations because the future quite literally depends on young people like you and me and us. So let's do this.
yeah, and the women, please do understand, if this is the point of view that we have to go forward with, that we are not going to be babysitters for anybody, or we are not going to be savior for anybody. So if there is something that is not benefiting you, and I think it is also good, because if you think you think you can save him, but you can't. He has to save himself. And yeah, and I think we will see you again for the next episode. And if you have your thoughts, do share in the comments, because we like to engage with these kind of conversations, and this is about us and not you against us. So let's just form a community where we are comfortable talking about all of this. So until next time, we'll see you. Bye bye.
Bye.